Hey everybody, it's me again. I have a bag, some stuff that I got mainly from Free Comic Book Day.
The Grey Man does whatever a Grey Man can. Can he make a comic feed? Yes he can, he just did. Watch now, a video from Grey Man. A video from Grey Man.
So a couple of bits here that I've added in the post this morning. Let's put those aside to show you later on. Right, let me show you the free comic books first of all. Now I've heard of Free Comic Book Day, but I didn't actually know we did it in the UK, to be honest. I've never actually ever attended a comic shop on a Free Comic Book Day. So I just, since I've started sort of following comic stuff on YouTube since last year, that I saw that there were, posts for free comic books, because I always used to just have my local comic shop I used to go to, and that was it. I never really had any friends who collected comics, so I didn't bother reading comic trade magazines like Wizard or whatever. Never looked online on comic things. I just bought my monthly comics every month. And I'm not even sure if my local comic shop even bothered with Free Comic Book Day, to be honest. My comic shop used to be a right pokey little hole, run by some strange guys, to be honest. Right, but anyway, but let's just show you what free comic books I've got. And that was nothing majorly exciting, I didn't think, in the free comic books, but yeah, they were free, so why not? Got myself a kind of kiddified Justice League, Dear Justice League. It was quite fun to read, it was alright. Superhero Gals, or was it Girls? No, sorry, DC Superhero Girls, not Gals. Yeah, that was okay. Nothing to write home about. I'm certainly not planning to go out and buy the books or anything like that. It was alright. I got a reprint of Spawn #1. I did read my mate used to collect Spawn, so I read a lot of the early Spawns, to be honest, but I don't think I ever bought them myself. I'm pretty sure I didn't, because I haven't got any, so there we go. But here's one with my birthday sister, Vampirella. Me and her will both be turning 50 in September. So I'm hoping to get her first appearance. I've seen one, 2.5, with a bit of a ripped up cover for 250 quid on mycomicshop.com. I'd like to get on with a slightly better cover, to be honest, but it's expensive. But we'll see. One day I may own her first appearance, but in the meantime I've got this free comic. Yeah, cool. She's turning 50. She still looks young and beautiful though. Not like me. Right, no number on this, I don't think. It's just the tick for Free Comic Book Day. I've watched all the TV shows of the tick, caught up with them on Amazon. There's an old one, I think, from the 90s or 80s, which was funny. And the new one, the current run as well, is pretty funny as well. So yeah, the tick, pretty cool. There's a Catwoman related story, or the beginnings of a story to get you interested in buying the graphic novel, which I don't think I'll be bothering with. But I believe this is on Image. I think someone said there's a TV show of this, Deadly Class. I read it. I wouldn't buy it as a comic. That did not, make me want to buy it. Right, the first shop I went into, actually, I went into two shops. The first one was really, really busy, the one in Croydon, A Place in Space it's called. And just down the road from there, literally about 100 yards down the road, is Forbidden Planet, local Forbidden Planet. So I went in this Place in Space, put loads of stuff in there, and they let me choose 5 of the free comic books. And the other ones that I got were like a random bag. When I went into Forbidden Planet afterwards, they gave you a bag that already had 5 in it, and it just so happened that I managed to get no doubles. That was cool. I did have 2 other comics as well. So this one I didn't actually choose. This one just happened to be in a random bag. Same with this one as well. It's a manga one, My Hero Academia, which I read that was, I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't. It's not my kind of thing. For one, you got to read it backwards, and for 2, there wasn't much of a story in it either. It was just, Japanese manga, not my cup of tea. This one was the one that came random as well. I didn't actually pick the Avengers because I'm not really, I like the old Avengers, the old Marvel. I'm not really into the modern one, so I wasn't really that fussed about getting this one or the Spider-Man one. But anyway, that's 8 of them. The other 2 I actually gave as presents. One of them randomly came, and it was Pokemon that my stepson stepson, son-in-law? Yeah, stepson. I can remember what's his stepson or son-in-law. No, stepson. My stepson likes Pokemon. He doesn't like comics though, particularly. But I gave him this Pokemon one, and he reads that reads backwards as well. But he sort of, oh, okay, I'll have it, and he'll probably show it to his mate when his mate comes to visit him. And the other one was a Doctor Who comic with is it the 13th Doctor, the woman Doctor? And my girlfriend, my partner, she watched the whole of the last series of that, and she really enjoyed it. She really likes the Lady Doctor. So I gave her that comic book. I don't think she'll ever get around to reading it, but you know. Right, so queued up for a long time in my local comic shop. Got myself some bargains. I reckon there's all 50% off back issues. So got myself some nice World's Finest for half price of what they would have been. Try to show them without any glare. But yeah, World's Finest, lovely comics. Another World's Finest here. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. There's another World's Finest. They seem to be stuck in a concentration camp or something. Yeah, the prison of no escape. Please, I'm starving. Since I lost my superpowers, I need more food than this to stay alive. How dare you complain, Superman? You and Batman are convicted spies. Just be thankful you get life imprisonment instead of the firing squad. Oh dear. Crazy. Here's another one of them both being captured. And this one, Batman's cracking. He's like, where is it? You can eat, Batman, now that you've agreed to defect from the US and work for our country. Superman is a fool to hold out. With his superpowers gone, he'll starve. And he's saying, Batman finally cracked, can't blame him, and I'll be next. I wonder if that follows on from the other one. It looks like it does, doesn't it? It's got the same characters in there. I always thought World's Finest took like one shot, but this just looks like it does carry on. Right, and number 195. Hurry up with your graves, Jimmy and Robin. I'd finish you myself, but haha, I have a code against killing. And Batman saying, so I'll do the job, boys. So basically, Batman and Superman are getting Robin and Jimmy Olsen to dig their own graves. Trying to get no glare, there you go. Little glare as possible, and then they're going to kill them. Batman's going to riddle them with bullets. Another World's Finest there. Another groovy, beautiful cover. Superman and Batman quit Earth. There you are. Flying off, leaving the Earth, going to another planet. It's really true, but why? I don't know. Got to read it to find out. This one's interesting. Nice orange, beautiful orange cover. Love the big, thick, chunky logo bar at the top. And somehow, someone's squashed Superman's body and his head's flown off. It's like, is Superman supposed to be like a toy or something, like an action figure? And like, I don't know, maybe a giant child has picked him up and his head's fallen off because he's been playing with him too roughly. And this one, we got Atom. Superman, stop! You'll smash Atom to nothingness! I've got to! Look, the Atom is there on the table, about to get crushed into paste by Superman's fist. Good perspective on that one. You got him at the front, you got little Atom there, in the background running up behind. Oh, stop, Superman, don't kill Atom! Intruder from a dead world. Stay back. Don't any of you dare harm my insect friends, or... And there we go. Some giant insects are attacking a building and Superman is their protector. I actually saw a comic the other day, actually, that I wouldn't mind getting. It was a Superman comic, and Superman had like an insect head, and he was like climbing up the side of a building with all these insect sort of minions, and yeah, that was quite funny. Right, now, Marvel presents, I'm trying to get a little run of these Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it only goes up to about 12 or something like that. Started off, the first two are like Ulysses Bloodstone, and then from 3, which is this one, it goes on to a little Guardians of the Galaxy story. So I'm trying to gather those together. It's the original Guardians, none of these from the movie, apart from Yondu. It looks nothing like that in the movies, of course. Right, a couple of Marvel team-ups, all going pretty cheap. So they were probably like £1 and I got them for 50p, or £2 and I got them for £1, that kind of thing. So, nice few Marvel team-ups on my Marvel team-up run. Oh yeah, jolly good stuff. Back in the era when Marvel were good. Before the 90s when they went to crap. Right. Nice one. Another groovy little team up. Right, this is In the Claws of the Griffin. Or the Griffin, sorry, not Griffin. You do sometimes see it spelled as Griffin. Gryphon, but this is Griffin. Yeah. I always liked the Griffin actually. I remember, I'm pretty sure I saw him fighting the champions way back when. He never got as much sort of use as he should have done, if you ask me. I think he looks really cool. He's a bloody lion, for God's sake, with eagle wings and eagle claws. A lion's head. It's bad to the bone, and he's got a spiky tail. Griffin should be used more often. They should employ me to write comics, and I'll make sure the Griffin gets used. Right. Another team up. Spider-Man and Quasar, number 113. In this bag, I've got another bag to go, but the last one in this bag, The Thing. I picked up most of the run, but I've got about 4 missing. I managed to find this was the only one left in the shop, and it's the very last one, so that's good. I still need number 1 though, which isn't so good, but there you go. Eventually I'll get it. Right then, what's in the other bag? Right now, it was so packed, the shop, and it was 2 queues, one massive queue going all the way from the door to the counter of people queuing up just for free books, another queue, people queuing up to buy books, and I joined the wrong queue first of all, and the bloke said to me, I'll go to the other queue, this is the queue for buying stuff, and I thought, oh, okay, and the other queue obviously went a hell of a lot quicker, so I was like, what the? They didn't, actually the other queue wasn't actually selling, so it would have been no good on that queue, so it wasn't too bad, but I had a long old standing wait, which is not good for my feet, because I'm a martyr to my feet, as they say. Anyway, but I was able to get in the sort of, because big queue, but not that many people looking through the comic books, so it wasn't too bad. I managed to, right, so got my list, just happened to find Hellblazer number 1, which I didn't start collecting. I think I got the graphic novels to start off with, so I have got this already in trade paperback, this book actually, but let's get it out so you can get it without glare, a bit of luck. As you can see, 40 quid this was. But it was half price. So I've got the first appearance of the first appearance in his own book, not the first appearance of John Constantine, but his first of his own book. You can see there's a massive scuff over the DC logo. Someone's put a price tag on there and ripped it off. So not the greatest condition. The rest of the book is fine, but that little tear, I don't know. I was kind of umming and ahhing about it. It was like it was first print. First issue of the first series, key issue, and I was like, oh, I suppose, yeah, so I did. That was my biggest buy on the day. I think that's not too bad, really. I mean, I got it at half price. If I sold it now at the full price, I would have made, money back. But also number 2. Issue number 2, this was only £5 because it was, say, all the back issues were half price. So, yeah, it's alright. I've got a few more of the early ones I didn't have. So, number 4, I've got that now. Number 5. Six. Too much reflection. No, wherever I put it, there's too much reflection. It's normally not so reflective as that. Oh, whatever. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Right, few DC Comics Presents. Another run I'm looking to fill in. Teaming up with a Swamp Thing. Looks like Swamp Thing's fighting him. You've always been on the side of the good, Swamp Thing, so why are you helping Solomon Grundy destroy me? Watch out, lock your doors, bolt your windows, the marshland monsters are coming. Hey, great stuff. Right, Superman and the Shazam family. Managed to get number 21 of Werewolf by Night. Couple in my Power Man run, Luke Cage Power Man. So number 20. I think this might be the first appearance of Cottonmouth. I'm not sure. I can't tell you. He's in this one anyway. But it was. I think this was quite an expensive book. Well, it's got a big crease down here. I think this was £8. I think this one was one that was £8. I'm not too sure now. Maybe it was this one actually. This is 78 Power Man Iron Fist. Return of Aguila. I've got a feeling this might be an early appearance of Sabretooth as well. I remember there's a couple of runs in this run which are quite expensive. One of them was the second appearance of Sabretooth and the other was the third appearance of Sabretooth. That's really annoying. The second appearance of Sabretooth, that comic, I know I've had that comic. I swear I've been looking around, I'm sure I've got this comic. I remember this cover so well. And what it is, it's got a jade tiger, so it's like I think it's called the Jade Tiger. And it's like a green sort of tiger. Because I remember having that comic, because I remember it was not a very good condition, because someone had drawn, like traced with pen, all around the blinking the Jade Tiger. And I was like, I'm sure I've got that card. I mean, I remember that, that image of someone having drawn on it and me actually having that comic. But I think to myself, what did I do with it? Did I get rid of it because it was a mess? But now it's like it's a £50 comic or something like that. It's like, oh, I'm sure I've got that comic somewhere, or at least I had it somewhere. Oh well. Right, I got some Marvel 2 runs as well. Thing teaming up. So closing in on this run. I did actually make a mistake. I'm not quite sure how I managed it. I may have looked at the wrong list, but I managed to get myself a double in this one. So Thing and Modred, and somehow this is the double. I managed to get this. I already had this apparently. I looked at my list after I came out because my feet were so tired by the time I came out and popped into the other shop. I went in the pub, had a pint and a bag of crisps, ticked off all me things on my list, and realised that somehow this one wasn't on the list. So I must have it already. So I don't know how I managed to read the number wrong. I reckon I must have just. But it only cost me £1. It would have been 50p with the 50% off. So I thought, so I go back to the shop and change it. I thought, no, I'll just put it in my pile to sell. If I sell it for £1, I've made a profit. So yeah, there you go. So that's a double, unfortunately. But that was pretty cool. I'm quite happy with those. And then after going in that shop, I thought I'd go into the Forbidden Planet just down the road and get some free comics from them as well. And also, I picked up Detective Comics 1000, should I say. There was quite a few different choices of them actually, of different covers. And so I was looking at the different. I didn't find the one I really like. Because I know the main comics got like a different covers, like based on different eras of Batman, different decades of Batman. So 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, that kind of thing. I didn't see any of the older covers, like the 70s one or the 60s one that I would have liked to have picked up if they were in there. It all seemed to be the more modern ones, which are they're all nice art, but not really my. They're okay. But I would rather have had like a 50s or 60s or 70s cover, style cover rather. But I did find this one, which is Brian Boland, of course, who is a great artist. Cut his teeth on 2000 AD, Judge Dredd and Judge Death and Anderson and all that kind of thing. And so I picked this one, and there's no, is it called a Virgin cover? Because it's got no trade dress, is it called? I don't know. No logo on the top. I didn't realise this was a more expensive one though, because I don't think I saw that the prices weren't on there. And I got into the till, and by the time I got to the till, there was a queue behind me, and it turned out it was £20 for this one, and I was like, ooh. So I send it. I thought, oh, maybe I'll change it for the other one. But I saw there was a massive queue behind me. It was a complete muck it out. I said, no, I'll just keep it. Just that'll do. I'll have it. And then hopefully it'll be, hopefully this one will be collectible down the line. It's got a great blinking Boland art on it. Brian Boland, bloody great artist. Whatever he puts his hand to. So I managed to pick up that one. I also managed to pick up the Villains Takeover Special from 2000 AD. All villain issue, all new, all evil. So jolly good stuff. On the back as well, talking about great 2000 AD artists, there's a little tribute to Carlos Osquera, who one of my favourite artists who died last year. Great stuff. All he created Judge Dredd. He created Strontium Dog. He used to do a load of war comics back in the day, the old Action and Battle Action Weekly and that kind of thing. But yeah, just a great artist. Loved his stuff. Really cool looking characters, the way that he drew them. Anyway, so that was my free comic book day. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to say about that. It was good. I enjoyed it. I spent quite a bit of money, but I got quite a lot of value of comics. So double what I spent is the value, really, apart from the Forbidden Planet, where there was no half price or anything. They haven't got much in the way of back issues or anything in Forbidden Planet anyway. But yeah, I did pretty cool. I did have a look at the wall books, thinking maybe I should. The wall books were 30% off. And I was like, But there was nothing in there massively interesting. They did have a Boy Commandos from 1944, I think it was. And I mentioned it already to Simon Comics, because I know he loves these Boy Commandos, and it was £200. Thinking about it, with 30% off, that would have been 140, wouldn't it? It was 30% off. But I'm not keen. I'm not that fussed about Boy Commandos. It's not really something that would interest. It might interest me just because of the fact of the history of it. The fact it was a real old comic. It was a pretty good nick as well, and it was quite interesting because there's a little label on it saying that this comic was never distributed in the UK. Because of the wartime stuff going on and paper shortages and stuff, that comic just never made it over to the UK. The only reason it came over because some GI brought it over with him, and that was especially so it's been. I don't know if there's any provenance for it or any storyline behind it. But apparently this is how it came over. Some GI had it in his bag, and either he got left behind or he gave it to some kid, or who knows what happened. But apparently this is allegedly how this comic ended up in the UK anyway. So it was quite fun just to read that. But yeah, I can't remember what number it was. But yeah, 140 quid. I'm not that keen on war books to be wanting to spend that kind of money on it. But anyway, I've come home today and I've got a few comics in my mailbag. So I've got a Justice League of America number 64. So Return of the Red Tornado. It looks in quite good nick, but for some reason, whoever had it sometime decided to strengthen it with sellotape, and all it's done is it's just made the colour bad. I mean, if you look at the staples look like they're actually, I'm not even too sure if the staples are actually. It's really weird. I can't really work it out whether it's been because if you look inside, it looks like the staples are going through the book, and when I opened it up, the sellotape that was stuck on the front page came out, and the sellotape that was here on the back page fell off as well. And I don't know, this one on the back here is loose. I don't know if it's worth trying to peel it off slowly, because it doesn't seem to be holding anything on. It's just, I think maybe we're just putting it to strengthen it, but now it's just gone, horrible colour. I don't think you could ever get that colour out anyway. I don't know if you could take off the sellotape and give it a clean sometime. It's probably not worth it, but it's a number 64 of Justice League of America. And yeah, despite that horrible looking brown edge caused by somebody putting sellotape on whenever it was, so it's a lovely comic from 1968. So this is about a year older than me, August 1968, this one. Right, what else did I get? The same guy that I bought my Werewolf by Night number 32, was it? The big Moon Knight issue. He had a few more going, so he had a team up, number 93 of Spider-Man Werewolf by Night. The cover looks familiar though, but I'm sure it wasn't on my list, so I shouldn't have had it. But I think in his own comic he fights the Tatterdemalion. The Tatterdemalion seems to be one of his villains, as well as fighting Spider-Man and Daredevil. I quite like the Tatterdemalion. He's kind of like a hobo, I suppose you'd say. But I think his hands can melt stuff like money. If he holds on to money, it will destroy in his hands. Yeah, it's a strange thing. But a few more Werewolf by Nights as well. So number 31. Still haven't decided about number 33. The guy who sold me number 32 has got number 33 going, but it's got a lot more ticks than the 32 that I bought off him. And he wants £40 for it. And I'm not too sure if I want to pay 40 quid for it. I've seen one in a lot worse nick on eBay, but it's only £14. And I'm like, do I want one that's worse nick, but it cost me less? So yeah, I'm not too sure about it. I'm not even sure if I'm that of a rush to get it anyway. So, right, number 38. Number 41. Right, and I don't know why I picked this one up. This is number 1 of Hellstorm. Yeah, Damon Hellstrom in it, but it's called Hellstorm, Prince of Lies. I don't know why I bought it. It was just going cheap on Facebook. I can't feel like I might have even had it. Actually, I don't know. I bought it. Don't ask me why. I think it was going for 50p or something like that. So I went, yeah, I'll have that one. So I did. And this one I definitely bid for. I definitely asked to buy because it's Powerpuff Girls. I do love the Powerpuff Girls. This is number 2 of their ongoing book, but it's a self-contained story anyway called Night of the Chickens. I actually saw this on John's Comics with Kids. Him and the girls are up there talking about, you know, what comics they picked up, and they said, no, I was basically giving them all the information about Powerpuff Girls. So I'm such a Powerpuff Girls fanboy. I used to watch the cartoons all the time in the 90s. They were really funny. And on this one here, all I can just say, this is an error, because I never asked for this and I haven't paid for this. So this has been sent to me by, either it was a freebie for buying some comics, or someone's accidentally given me somebody else's comic. But it's part 1 anyway. It looks like to me like it's a 2000 AD related story. It looks like it's the same artist who did the Rogue Trooper. This looks to me like it's a Rogue Trooper tie-in, but maybe it's the same artist and he's using similar pictures. But it looks like the Rogue Trooper GI. I'm not too sure. Is it Ewins? No, Kennedy. Cam Kennedy must be. Yeah, Cam Kennedy did a lot of 2000 AD work. Maybe he's just a coincidence that his art looks like it's Rogue Trooper, but it's not meant to be Rogue Trooper in this comic. I'm not too sure. Anyway, that's it. That's me. 3 comic book day buys and a couple of other little bits and pieces that I've picked up. And cheers for watching. I shall be back sometime with some more stuff. Bye. Just remembered I had left some in my other room. These are some other ones I picked up on 3 comic book day. Yeah, it's a couple of Brave and the Bold. So I've got 3 more Brave and the Bold to get my 100 to 200 run together. So number 130 and number 141. 3 more to go, and I've got the whole 100 to 200 run. That would be nice. And some Superman comics. Some lovely Superman. Look at that cover. It's a thing of beauty. A few date stamps on them as well. And Superman comics from this era aren't expensive either. I don't think there's really that many keys in them, but they're a great read. So, you know, I'm trying to get a nice little run together. Who is the man who murdered Metropolis? And finally, number 277. There you go, The Amazing World of Superman. Clark Kent, I'm going to prove you're Superman because he wouldn't let me die. So some guy's jumped out of the window to his death, his probable death, his possible death, banking on Superman being Clark Kent and saving his life. So, fair enough. That's it. That's definitely all of the comics from that haul.